Program alarm 1201. You are go on the 1201. Roger, go 1201.
Man. But yo, we are on. Welcome to another episode of 1201 the podcast, a very special episode of 1201 the podcast. I am honored. I am pleased. I am ecstatic, beyond ecstatic. This is a man I've looked up to for many years. I got the opportunity to meet him, and he's been nothing but energetic, positive, and always, reaffirmations. And, these are the type of people that you really are blessed to have around you for no matter what period of time in your life. As long as they're around you, you're blessed to always have that type of person, man. I am talking about the radio legend, Mr. Tony C, the Jamerican Don-Dada. If you have been anywhere in Central Florida from early 2000s, probably before that, Tony, you can tell me what the real deal is, but anywhere from the early 2000s and on, you know this gentleman, keeping it real, keeping it funky, hitting you with the top 40, the reggae, of course, Jamerican Don-Dada, like I said, the hip-hop, just always keeping it fresh. Mr. Tony C, man. Tony, how are you, my brother?
Man, I am humble, man. I definitely appreciate, all your kind words, man, because the truth is,
true. So the true words.
No doubt, man. Because, if you know me, my family, the Rec family, blood family, whatever, they know that how much passion I got for this. So how much passion I have for this. It's not, I didn't care about being popular, man. I just really loved doing what I was doing. If whatever I motivated folks to do stood out more than you knowing who I was good.
Yeah.
I was good because I like to see people win. I like to really, I like to hear that, man, Tony, you said something on your show that really got me through. Matter of fact, 102 Jams was a music format station.
That's 102 Jams in Central Florida, if you're not hip to it, man.
Yeah.
Long time been the top station here in Central Florida, in Orlando. Daytona to Tampa, I think. But Daytona to Orlando. Mm-hmm.
It bleeds into Tampa from now and then. Depends on the rainy day or not.
But you say it at 102 Jams.
But, I was at 102 Jams, and then from there to I was in Miami. I was at 103.5 The Beat in Miami.
The Beat.
Yeah.
That's the one Khaled came out of.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But Khaled was at EDR. He was at 99 Jams.
That's right, Khaled was at 99. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the opportunity. Well, let me stay on course because I can go all over the place.
Go ahead, man.
But 102 Jams. I moved to back to Orlando in '98 from college. I started doing radio in college. I was only 17 years old on the radio, DJing clubs. And from Savannah to South Carolina.
You know what? It's crazy. I'm going to jump. We're going to be jumping from topic to topic because, A, you got the Philadelphia Eagles hat. My co-host, my partner in this Twiz, man, he's a huge Eagles fan, too. He knows you back from first. He's regretful he couldn't make it. He wanted to be on this one so he could chop it up with you, too. But now I'm going to get to rubbing it a little bit more because you're an Eagles fan and Savannah. He was working at one of the radio stations out there, but please continue.
Really?
Out of college, yeah. You guys are gonna chop it up. I promise that. On the next one, I might step back and let him and you talk. You know what I mean? But trust me, he was very regretful he couldn't make this one. He said to tell you what's up. I promise I would. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my man Twizzleman56. Oh, real quick, I can't believe I forgot this, bro. We're gonna get right back into what you're saying, but make sure you following It's Tony C. That's at It's Tony C on Instagram. Also on Instagram, TCI Fitness. That's TCI Fitness, the at Instagram. And on Facebook, it's DJ Tony C. And of course, your man So It Go J. That's So It Go J with all underscores. So it goes. Out of college, you was in Savannah, you were saying?
Yeah. So pretty much it was my freshman year of college. I just graduated. I graduated from Evans High School in Orlando, and I had to leave for school early because I was in a marching band. I was in the HBCU marching band.
What'd you play?
Trombone. I played trombone at Evans, and I played at Memorial Middle School. I played trombone for a great deal of my life. And in college, I played trombone. Had to get to school earlier than most of the other freshmen because of, we were getting ready for the football season and whatnot. Right. And, the whole time, being that I was a mass comm major, my mind was getting on some type of radio station. And the first station that came to mind was the campus radio station at Savannah State University. So, I was scouring everybody. Hey, who's in charge of the station? Who does this? Who does that? And it was a jazz station. And mind you, I wasn't a big jazz person, even though I played jazz music with my trombone. But I wasn't really a big jazz person. But I was like, you know what? Whatever it is that's going to give me the opportunity to have some experience in radio, I'm going to take it. So, throughout the whole band camp, before classes started, I didn't get to know anybody. I'm like, all right, well, I need to be focused on this anyway because, marching bands and the HBCU bands take
serious. Almost as serious, if not more than the actual games.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
people come out to the games for the band versus the football.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So my very first class load consisted of an intro to mass comm class. So I was like, man, I had to take my prerequisite courses, of course, but then that was like no time. Bam. I'm like, okay, well, cool. I got to bang it out, but I know what class I need not miss.
Right. Right.
So I found out in my intro to mass comm class, there was a guy who was actually on the campus radio station. And he sat in front of me. What a coincidence. So
look at God, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so I
for real.
got to know him. And I told him I was interested. And, what should I do? What should I do? He's like, well, let me talk to my peoples at the station and see, what I can tell you, because I really don't know what to tell you. I just got on myself.
Right.
So that may have been a Friday. At the time, I was online for Kappa.
Oh yeah, that's right. I want to talk about that too. Shout out to the Noops. I am not in a fraternity, but I know you rep hard. I see you going.
Oh yeah. So I had line brothers that if I wasn't at band practice, if I wasn't in class, I was with my line brothers.
That's the good thing about a fraternity. They keep you in check. They keep you on task.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like any fraternal organization, they keep you on point, making sure you're doing what you got to do. I respect that.
That's exactly, and the root of all of the, not only Kappa, you got Omegas, you got Alphas, you have Sigmas or Iotas, but the root of it was actually, within the Divine Nine, was actually to bring about that unity. And it really helped out back in the time of segregation, especially with my fraternity, Kappa Psi. We were founded on a predominantly white institution, which is Indiana University.
Okay. So that was a way for you guys to really look out for one another, protect one another.
Absolutely. And it started from the root, from our founders on down to the lines that may be crossing in the near future.
Wow. Wow.
Over 110 years ago.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
What a lineage. That's amazing.
Right. So, my line brothers at the time, we maintained that same concept. And, they were trying their best to help me get me in place because they knew what my passion was. And, they did whatever they had to do. And going back to that scenario, it was a Friday. I had a conversation with the gentleman who worked at the radio station. And he said, by Monday, I should have something for you. So again, if I wasn't at band practice, if we wasn't out of town for a game, if I wasn't studying, if I was with them, and most likely we was in somebody's going party, or if we wasn't in somebody's going partying, we was at some club or was at a little hole in the wall right off of campus. So Sunday night, me and my line brothers decided to go hang out. Sunday night, I have an 8 o'clock intro to mass comm class.
Okay, on Monday morning. On Monday morning.
And so I had to get up bright and early Monday morning.
Yeah.
And we partying till like, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get up. Mind you, I have no problem getting up. You know, regardless of how late I sleep, I get up.
Yeah.
Now, how productive I'm gonna be, I can't promise you that.
Yeah. I understand. I can totally relate. Trust me.
Right, especially after all night of drinking till like 4 o'clock in the morning, and
right.
all sorts of other shenanigans that my line brothers were part of. So I'm sitting at the edge of my bed. This is like 6:30 at the time. 6:30 in the morning. I'm sitting at the edge of my bed. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I gotta make it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it. So I finally got myself together. I threw on some sweatpants, some football socks, flip-flops, t-shirt, put a hat on. I was probably the raggedest in the class, but I made it to class.
Hey. They pushing you to go too, I'm sure, right? They wasn't trying to. They was pushing you to go too. They was probably on you about that too.
My line brothers?
Yeah.
Man, them jokes were knocked out. Them jokes were knocked out.
Oh man.
I don't even think they knew I had a class that.
Oh man. They were still living the night before. Go ahead.
I was looking like the night before.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I washed up a little bit, so I wasn't smelling like the night before.
There you go. You got to. Because there probably be some tenderonis in class too. You ain't trying to.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, exactly. See, I wasn't
dig.
trying to step up when I go to class. Because at the HBCU, it's like a fashion show when you go to class.
Oh yeah.
Football games, basketball games is like a fashion show.
You stepping out every time.
Right. So even though I was a little off, I wasn't trying to be too far off. I wasn't trying to be like, oh.
I copy.
Now looking at me like that. So I get to class, and the guy that was trying to connect me with the radio station in Savannah on campus, he was just looking for. I got to class late, mind you. So as soon as he saw me walk in, he just looked up and just had this glow on his face. And he's like, "Yo, I was hoping you didn't miss class today." And I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" He said, "Man, I was on air last night, and somebody called me from a company that's getting ready to start a local station in Savannah, and she's looking for some radio personalities." And I was nervous. I'm like, "Man, I don't have any experience. What you telling me this for? I'm trying to get on a campus radio station."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, so where do I need to be?" And he was like, "Man, she wants us to meet up there at 8 o'clock. Her name is Marie Kelly. Matter of fact, it's ironic. She's originally from Dallas, Texas." And
have you reunited with her since you've been out there in Texas?
I haven't.
You in Houston. Now Houston and Dallas are far. I used to think they were close, but then I come to realization that they are far apart.
Yeah, we're like 4 hours apart.
Okay.
But I'm not even quite sure if she's in Dallas now. Last I checked, she was doing radio in Mobile, and that was like maybe 8 years ago.
So she's looking to open up a station in Savannah, not associated with the college.
This is a local professional radio station.
Okay.
Now, this is the real deal. This is your record deal radio station.
Now I gotta interrupt you because this is something. The second you said passion, something popped into my head, and I was like, I gotta ask Tony this question. Did you always know you wanted to do? I know you wanted to do something like this, but did you always know you wanted to do radio, be a personality? Did you always know you had the voice? Because you do have the voice for it. I don't know if it's inept or something you worked on. It seems like it's something that you just born with. But did you always know you had the voice for radio?
Let me explain something. I always believed that I was going to be broadcasting in some way, shape, or form. And I told folks, and I want to say it was at high school graduation. And I even, when you sign each other's yearbooks or whatnot. So there's a friend of mine, her name is Shamita Hamilton. She's in Atlanta now. And I signed her yearbook, and I didn't know, I totally forgot about this until like years into radio. I think I was working in Miami at the time. And I ran into her in Orlando, and she's like, "Tony, I've been wanting to tell you this for years." I'm like, "What? What's that?" She's like, "In my yearbook, you wrote, within the next 10 years, you're either going to see me or hear me." And I'd be damned if the whole city ain't hearing you right now.
You know you were going to be on Front Street. You knew this.
I knew it. It wasn't a shadow of doubt. I knew I was going to be on the radio.
Now, Tony,
I wasn't going to let up until I got on the radio.
Tony, you believe in power attraction?
I absolutely do.
Did you know you were practicing the law of attraction?
Had no idea.
You just were doing it.
I was just doing it.
That's incredible.
I was just doing it.
That is absolutely incredible.
And see, in high school, man, I thought I was a little smooth Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a little. I just, I wasn't. I didn't, play women. I was just that dude. If I wanted you, I'm gonna talk to you with all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had you already. I had you before hello.
I got a name for that. I actually practice that. I call that the lost art of finesse. The art of finesse is lost upon a lot of people, especially this generation. I'll say any generation that came after you and after mine. You know what I'm saying? The lost art of finesse. So you definitely practice that. And I could hear it. I could hear it in the way you actually used to do your job. You know what I mean? When you were on air, and I'm gonna come back into this. We're about to cut for a break, but I'm gonna come into this. You really inspired me personally. A lot of people that know my story know that I moved from New York to Florida, and coming to Florida was very unnerving for me because I really didn't know what it was like, and I came from a completely different lifestyle, a completely different pace. And I think one of the first things was listening or finding the local radio station, which really the only hip hop station in Orlando was 102 Jams, and hearing you for the first time. And that's what I'm going to get a little bit into that. And I want you to talk a little bit more about that time period, that era when we come back in off the break. But for sure, man. Yo, you will watch 1201 the podcast. We're going to hit you with a break. We'll be right back.
Houston, we have a program alarm, 1201. You will go on the 1201 ring. Roger, go 1201.
Hey, yo, we are back on. Welcome back to 1201 the podcast. I got the Jamerican Don-Dada with me, Mr. Tony C, Mr. Radio. You know what I'm saying? Off the break, Tony, I was about to tell everybody and tell you what an inspiration you've been to me personally. As soon as I touched down from New York, man, I was very unsure about my surroundings, very unsure about the area. I reached out. Everybody told me, the hip hop station listened to was 102 Jams. This is the first time I heard you, sir. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I want to say you were doing the main mix show at during from 5 o'clock or sometime after 5 o'clock.
It was actually at the time it was a thunderstorm.
The thunderstorm. Okay.
Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm was the later in the evening mix.
Yeah, it was probably like around. What was it? I would say it's like somewhere between 7 and 10ish.
That makes sense, because
it was around 7 and 10.
I'd be done dinner and everything else I was doing. Mind you, I'm in high school, just starting high school. I'm in 9th grade. First time I heard you, I was in 9th grade. And yeah, man, when I heard you and I heard you, talking on the radio, it reminded me a lot of Hot 97, of the New York radio. The finessing. Let's go back to that. The finessing you were doing just reminded me of that. Like, yo, this is a New York cat. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody from my hometown. And obviously you're a lot closer than I realized you were from just another zip code or two away from me in New York. But, going on to that, I just want to make sure you know how much you influenced me personally and a lot of people my age and before, younger than me and older than me, in the same fashion. You know what I mean? You definitely a radio personality that nobody forgot. And let me tell you something, man. It was the coolest thing. When I actually called up one time, I was renovating the crib with my old lady, and I called up while we was laying some floor down on it. This is years after I first heard you, man. And you definitely, you gave me the shout out on air and all that stuff, man. I was super lit. I was the kid in the candy store, bro. For real, I'm smiling ear to ear right now because I'm remembering how happy I was at times. That's the type of joy you brought into people's life. And you continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, if you're not doing that already, you need to be on Instagram. You need to be following him at It's Tony C and his fitness program, which we're going to talk a lot about. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to go over format. We're going to go over time. Got to talk about
good. I got time.
Give them your ads, man. Let them know. Let the people know where they can find you at. You know what I'm saying?
So I keep most of the DJ stuff on It's Tony C, ITSTONYC, and then more of the fitness, nutrition, overall wellness stuff I do over at TCI Fitness.
That's Tony C. What's the I?
Huh?
What's the I?
At TCI Fitness, Tony Campbell Integrated Fitness.
Got you.
Yeah, and then on Facebook, it's DJ Tony C. And then T Campbell Fitness for the fitness side of things on Facebook. So I separate the two because I want people to take each of them seriously. Like, I don't want people to look at it as, oh, he's a DJ that's trying to be a personal trainer or a health and wellness guru, or he's a health and wellness guru trying to be a DJ. I just happen to do both of them.
You're really diversifying it. You're not saying just because of this you want to move into this. This is two things you're equally passionate about.
Right.
I understand.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it, I've always had this passion for it. Radio just took up a lot of my time. Radio and being a family man took up a lot of my time. You know, I had 2 young kids most of my radio career, and you know, I worked from Sunday through Sunday. You know, and if it wasn't on the radio, it was doing some type of community event, or is doing a club night. You know, just a couple of days ago, I posted a picture of Super Sunday Night at the Palladium.
Oh my God.
Legendary.
Super Sunday Night.
Legendary.
They ended that too soon, man. They ended that too soon. I feel like I got robbed. I got robbed in my childhood, man.
If you didn't get an opportunity to experience that and you lived in Orlando, I truly apologize.
Club Firestone, if you never got to go to Club Firestone, or 20 different names they gave it afterwards, but I always know it's Firestone, no matter what they call it now.
Right.
That's right. Firestone.
Absolutely.
Firestone,
and, you know,
Orange.
I was excited about that because I was always the youngest cat at 102 Jams. You know, mind you, I started doing radio in Savannah at 17. I got the opportunity, 17 years old.
You started college early.
Yeah, well, you know, I graduated in May '95.
Okay.
I left to go to Savannah. I got there in July because I had to get there early, and that's when I really started to, you know, try to find my way.
Right.
I turned 18 in September. You see what I'm saying? So. Yeah. Prior to my 18th birthday, I was, you know, given the opportunity to start. And this was months after I graduated from high school. Now, mind you, I didn't expect it to happen that soon. I had no idea it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. You writing in people's yearbooks talking about it's going to happen.
Right. and you know, it was crazy because I totally forgot about writing in Shamita's yearbook. And you know, I'm thinking, I'm like, is it Shamita? Or it was another friend of mine who's married to a close friend of mine, Sharonda. Dean, is, you know, he's someone I hung out with real tight in high school. But I'm trying to remember if it was either Sharonda or Shamita that came back at me and told me that I wrote that in their yearbook.
That's right.
I heard my phone go off, so I was wondering if, okay, no, that's not that.
The ears is bringing off the hook right now.
Right. But, you know, I remember doing that, and I always had in my mind that I was going to be heard or seen. Now, mind you, I had high hopes of playing basketball, you know, but that got shot down, you know. And when I got to college, I was like, man, forget it. Man, forget it. You know, at the time, I had cousins that were the top guards in the state of Florida. They were twins that lived in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And I even considered moving to Fort Lauderdale my senior year in high school so I can get the opportunity down there, because them having so much clout. Matter of fact, they were All-American honorable mention.
They were having scouts come by and see them all the time, so to play with them would have been exposure. Right. I understand.
They tried to convince me. They were like, "Come on down. You can work out with us. You can work on your game. You'll get some. You got size, because I had a little size in high school, a little height. Not.
What you was playing? What you was playing?
I was a small power forward.
Okay.
And that was my problem, because
you had a shoe game. Like a guard. You had a shoe game. You had a shoe game.
I just like to play aggressive.
Okay, got you. You're posting up. You're posting up.
I love posting up. I love playing against guys bigger than me.
Okay.
But then the coaches didn't take that seriously, because they were like, you know, hey, we've already got guys that we've been watching from middle school that has the size, has the ability. You got to come in and be a Charles Oakley to take this spot.
That's a lot. Oh man,
You know,
that's knocking teeth out. That's knocking front teeth out. No, nah.
And matter of fact, it's funny because one of my cousins that I'm telling you about, he just jumped on it on the live. He was the younger of the twins, so that was something I looked up to them when it came to basketball, and I was like, well, you know what, maybe coming down there and being in their shadow wouldn't be a bad thing. But then it was my senior year. I thought about prom. I thought about all sorts of stuff. I'm like, man, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, all them things going on. I mean, that's a very it's a very unsure time for any young adult. You know what I mean? Is that when you really got into fitness because you were athletic, you were an athlete, or is it something that
I got into it more when my father got ill. When my father,
rest in peace, man. Shay, I didn't know.
Yeah, he was a young fella. My father was only 44 when he passed away, and
Wow.
he's the reason why I came back to Orlando.
Okay.
Because my goal was to take it from Savannah and head up to Atlanta.
Okay.
But late in my sophomore year at Savannah State, my father was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer.
Oh man.
And him and I talked, and he was like, Tony, I need you to finish school. I said, Dad, I'm not going to be here while you're going through this there.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you had to be by his side. I understand.
Yeah, he kept telling me, he was like, pardon me, sir.
You good?
I don't know what my dog might be doing. But he kept telling me, he was like, man, listen, finish school. I said, no, I'm coming home, and I'm going to be there with you. And he was like, he saw that I wasn't letting up. So, and then, I just left the conversation at that. And then a week later, I pop up at the hospital.
Wow. You know what? You did the same thing I would have done. You did the same thing I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
Father had a similar situation, battled multiple myeloma for 12 years. So I understand. I was by his side every second of every day. So I understand.
Oh, yeah.
And if I was somewhere else, I would have dropped everything, no matter what I was doing, and I'd have been right there.
Absolutely. And then, mind you, not only it was school, but I started a radio career. And at the time, the girl I was dating, who I married, she was pregnant with my son.
Shout out to wifey.
Well, we're not long together.
Okay, my bad. Shout out to baby mama. All right, copy.
Yeah. But we wasn't sure, but we were kind of sure.
Yeah. So, all of these things fell into place for you to come back to Central Florida. That was kind of like what you had to do.
Right. So when I walked up to the hospital, walked in the room, and he saw me. He didn't expect me. He saw me, and he was like, just started laughing. He's like, man, you crazy. I said, what? He said, man, you just crazy, man. I said, listen, man, I'm not gonna be anywhere not supporting you.
No.
But then I told him, I said, but I need you to fight this. Those are my exact words. I said, I need you to fight this. And he was like, just looked at me. He said, yeah, I'm good. I'm fighting this. He clutched his fist. I'm gonna fight this. And I said, well, yeah, but I really need you to fight this. And he was like, what you telling me? I said, there's a chance you're gonna be a grandfather again. So at that point, he just looked at me and just really had a serious unit on his face. I was like, don't worry about it. I got this.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get your degree.
Yeah. Wow.
He said, you're gonna get your degree. And then he asked me, he was like, what about radio? My father was the biggest fan of me in radio.
Yeah. He was proud of what you were doing in Savannah.
Huh?
He was proud of what you were doing in Savannah.
Yeah. I had to send my air check demo tapes to him so he can hear what I sound like on the radio.
Yeah.
So
he was critiquing you.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was worried about me completing my degree. He was worried about my radio career, but then I also put the whole possibility of him being a grandfather again. So he was like, I'm gonna fight, but you better fight too.
Right. Right, no.
So he passed away February of 98. My son was born October of 98.
Wow.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'm really leading up to. When I got back to Orlando, my program director at the time, Kelly Reynolds, she's in California now. Now I spoke with her recently. She jumped on, she was taking me out on live DJing. But she was the one that really believed in me. She believed more in me than I did.
Yeah.
And that had to be big because you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to win.
Yeah, I hate you. You knew what you was doing 10 years prior.
Right. So I didn't know anything about putting a resume together.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about putting a demo together. She did that for me. When I told her, I said, Kelly, I can't stay. And she like, why? What's wrong? I said, because they only giving my dad 3 months to live. So she was like, she's like, but what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, but I can't stay here. You know, she's like, well, you're not going to quit radio, are you? They'll never give me a chance in Orlando. That was my response. Now, that's when I was at my weakest. They'll never give me a chance in Orlando. Savannah's a 154 market. Orlando's a 39 market. Yeah, right. I didn't get groomed enough here.
Yeah.
And she was like, Tony, you are not going to quit. You are too talented, and I'm going to make sure that you get a job in Orlando. I'm like, how are you going to do that? Let's put your demo together. Give me some clips of your audio, and I'm going to put your demo together. So she put my demo together. I said, well, I'm going to need a resume. I don't know how to do that. Your resume is already done. I sent it to Russ Allen at 102 Jams in Orlando.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
He was the PD for how many years running?
Russ was there he must have been there. I got there in 98. He must have been there since 95, 96.
Wow.
And yeah, he left.
She just tightened that up and sent it off.
She tightened it up and sent it over and told me when I get back to Orlando to call him. So I told my dad all this was going on. He was like, every day when he was going through what he was going through, pain and all that, the first thing he asked me, did you call 102 Jams? Nah, you need to call him. I know, but I'm gonna give it a little time. You need to call him. Okay, I'll call him tomorrow.
How he knew?
Next morning. Did you call him? Nah, you need to call him. So that went on for days. And
what were you scared about, Tony, if you don't mind me asking? What were you scared about? You scared about what? Rejection? Or you preoccupied with what was going on with your dad?
Yeah, I was how old was I then? I think I was just turning 21 at the time. And like life just hit me. I'm losing they say I'm gonna lose my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that till he was gone. Yeah. I'm about to be a father. I gotta get some money.
That's life, man. I feel you.
I was working on a degree,
Keeping a promise to your father.
Right. So all of that was going. So, the confident 17-year-old that went to Savannah State kind of was like, the confidence level was a little bit lower when I was going through that. It's because of more of a distraction at the time.
Right.
So, with that, my father was the reason that I really went hard to get on 102 Jams. Because he
gets to ask you every day. You call him.
Yeah, he kept asking me. So I finally talked to Russ Allen, and Russ was like, "Yeah, I've been waiting to talk to you." He said, "But here's the thing, man. I got some internal things I need to do. I got some moving around I need to do. Once I do that, we're gonna talk again." I took that as, man, yeah, right, whatever.
Yeah.
But the truth is, he had some moving around to do. He did some big changes to the radio station at the time. And once I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, so he probably really mean that he was trying to make some weight.
Yeah.
So he called me. He was like, hey, we had another conversation. He was like, hey, just letting you know, we're going to talk. I just got a lot going on. Just want to follow up with you and, let you know.
Yeah.
Told my dad got excited. He's like, okay, cool. So then time passed. He was like, what happened? Did you turn them off or something? Why you not there yet? Matter of fact, why don't you just ask if you can come to a radio station? I'm like, Dad, they don't just let you walk in a radio station. He's like, well, how do you know? You didn't ask.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna front. Your father had a good point though.
He sure did. So, that went on. And I thought to myself, well, Dad, I told you, I talked to the man. I told you what the man said he's going to do. That wasn't enough for him.
Yeah.
You know, which it shouldn't have been. Anyway, he being the person he is. You know, so my father died February 4th of 1998. Russ Allen called me February 5th, 1998.
Yo, offline, Tony, I got something to talk to you about offline though, but that's amazing. I cannot believe that. You see, that's how God works, man, because the angels that we got here walking this earth with us are the same ones that we got up there looking over us. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So here's what happened though. You know, the family got together at my house, you know, the day that Russ called. They sent me out to Winn-Dixie to pick up some things for my mom to cook. And, you know, everybody was in a somber moment. My dad passed away the morning before. And, you know, so when they sent me off to the supermarket, I went there, came back, everybody smiling, everybody just laughing and smiling. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? And I'm just looking at them like, you know, I'm pissed off at the time. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I don't want y'all to, I don't mind y'all being happy, but
you're like, what's happening? What did you miss?
Yeah. So then they told me, it was like, hey, Russ Allen just called you. Man, I fell to the ground and cried my behind.
Oh my God.
I'm crying like I got a whooping.
That is amazing.
I'm boo-hoo crying. I'm talking about snot coming out my nose and everything crying.
What's going through your head? You can't believe it. You cannot believe it.
And I thought, the first thing I thought was, when my dad was up in heaven, my dad loved basketball too. I said, my dad must have been playing the pickup game with Jesus and asking for one favor.
Play a game of horse. If I win, this is what you have to do for me.
Right. I need my son on that radio.
Exactly.
So I called Russ. Russ had no idea this was going on. You know, I got myself together. I'm like, Russ, please. Oh, hold on. You know, getting myself together. He's like, yeah, you all right? He said, man, I told him, I said, Russ, man, I heard you call. I want to talk to you about. He's like, yeah. How soon can you get up here?
Wow.
I can get here tomorrow. And then he heard like that I was shook up.
Did he know what was going on? Anyone in your family had no one had told him?
Nah. So when I was talking to him, he heard it in my voice, like, you okay? I said, man, my dad just died yesterday. He's like, and you want to come up here tomorrow? He said, no. Do what you got to do. Spend time with your family. We'll schedule this for another week or two. I said, no, I can come. He said, listen, Tony.
You wanted to get it off your mind. You wanted to keep yourself busy and get it off your mind.
Exactly.
I understand. I can relate.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Listen, man.
So when he told me, what kept me cool was when he told me, this ain't going anywhere. You're going to be fine. Spend time with your family. And I was like, all right, cool. So, you know, I did what I had to do. I started working at AutoZone. No, Discount Auto Parts for about a week before I had that phone call. I told him, I said, listen, I'm not going to be able to do it. I got a job.
You didn't think it was going to go down. You was just giving up. You was like.
In a sense, yeah. In a sense.
Power of attraction, Tony.
Right.
Power of attraction. For real.
And then once I got on, I was just booming. I lost a lot of vacation time. I went to work sick. Like nothing was stopping me from getting up there. Matter of fact, my son, I was doing overnights at the time. My son was getting ready to. I did 10 to 5 in the morning. When I got home in my driveway, I got a phone call that my girl at the time was getting ready to deliver. So I'm on the air all night. I didn't get a chance to even walk in the house. I had to take her to the hospital and be up all night. My son was born the next night. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. I put a man. I just told this in the group yesterday with H. Dot. He had like a bunch, about 500 people from Orlando. That was really heavy.
Young Lad was on there. H. Dot was on it. One of my homies, one of the people that produces a lot of a lot of the records with him was on there. I saw what you was doing.
Yeah, and you know, I told him, I said, you know, I want to keep mine short because I wanted everybody. I was more interested in seeing what's happening now.
It was a good thing though. I appreciate that you gave input on that. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was like, you know, I put a lot into this. I don't regret it, but to see that y'all guys still have the passion for it, regardless of all the bickering and, you know, who's doing this, the competition, whether it's friendly or not, that shows that you still have a little passion. We just need to channel a little bit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's an easy fix, but to have the passion is more difficult.
That's hard to get.
That's hard to get. So when I sat there and I saw Dogman and P.I. Bang, you know, banging out hits after hits after hits, I was like, man, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that they're still, you know, moving and shaking. You see what I'm saying? When I was at 102 Jams, I was there before Nasty and Pro Style.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know about them boys. It was you the first person that you were the voice of Orlando before any of that came out.
Right. You know, and J Love was there too.
J Love. But let me tell you something. You were the voice of the young people of Orlando, man. All respect to J Love, man. All respect. But you were the voice of the young people of Orlando, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 true. For real.
Yeah, and you know, J Love had some years on me too, so you know that probably had a good deal to do with it. We both graduated from Evans High School. He graduated maybe 3 or 4 years before I did.
Let me tell you something. You came out. There was a whole different cast of characters that were listening to you and following you. I was one of them, so I know my circle was really just tuning in on that.
Yeah. So you know, with that though. You know, just seeing them cast with that passion. I mean, yeah, I'm way out here in Houston now, you know, and I'm still, you know, I'm doing my thing. I still dabble with the DJ and I do gigs.
Speaking of which, man, you got the live shows popping off. You got some type of schedule or something going on? You're doing one tonight, but this is not going to drop tonight. So I unfortunately, your live show is going to be done before this even drops. But you got any more coming up that you want to plug and make sure the people get ready for?
Yeah, I have one that I'm really excited about. My cousin out of Atlanta, the one that played ball, he's a DJ as well.
Yeah.
He's @ DJ_DW.
Okay.
Him and I, we had so much fun Friday night doing a reggae set. He just banging out reggae. We just going song for song and just like whoa.
Like real tune for tune style.
Tune for tune.
Tune for tune style. I dig that.
And we was, you know, we had a bottle of Ray Nephew. He had one on this side, I had one on my side. Man, we were going in.
Y'all better than me. I couldn't do that. Crack open the bottle. If I get a whiff of Ray Nephew, this podcast ain't going to end.
Hey, you gotta be ready when you're on that Ray Nephew.
Let me tell you something. I tried to get myself ready for Ray Nephew by drinking Baba Cool. And if you know Baba Cool, you know, shout out to Zoe, shout out to Sakpase, Nabule, bro. Listen. Baba Cool, and even that, you get on that type of time and you switch to Ray Nephews will still knock you down.
Yeah.
Still knock you down.
That ain't no weak stuff.
That ain't weak. I tried to do that to get ready for Ray Nephews, but it still couldn't get me ready.
Man.
But when you and DJ_DW going at?
I'm trying to set it up with him. I was trying to get him to do Saturday night again, but he does a internet show that kind of drained him for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So I'm going to get with him tonight to see when we're going to lock that in. I'm hoping we can do it by Friday, 7 o'clock.
Friday, 7 o'clock. This will actually be out midweek. I'm looking to drop this Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you're watching this early, which you should be, make sure not only if you're following It's Tony C, at It's Tony C, or Facebook, it's DJ Tony C, make sure you're tuning into that live DJ. It's going to be, I'm calling it now, man. Power Attraction. It's going down on.
Oh man, it's good. Yeah, let's do it, man. It's a wrap.
And you coming with a set schedule. I know you are. I know the way I've been watching you. And let me tell you something. I got this nice little habit. I know how to peek around the corner. You're gonna be doing a set schedule. You're gonna be doing something on a weekly basis. People.
Well, you know what I've been consistent with? And shouts to DJ D Nice. I've been consistent of not being on when he's on.
Okay, I dig that.
I call it straight to say, man. You know,
I dig it.
He came in booming, man, and I'm like, you know, in all respect, you know, even if folks decide that they want to check with me, you know, I think he just paved the way that I just like, you know what, nah, you got it.
Nah, I respect that. I respect that. I worked many years with D Nice when I was doing the promotion stuff out here in Orlando. He was the one that really put me onto the game. When I was doing the promotion, like back, you remember Club Paris?
Yeah.
Me and my team were the first ones promoting out here at Club Paris.
Well, the D Nice I'm talking about is the one up top.
Oh, you talking about D Nice? You talking about Biggie and them?
Yeah.
Nah. Chill. You got the answer, Picasso. You got to chill.
And I grew up listening because, you know, I lived in Queens, and my first introduction to radio was underground radio in Queens. And that was the time when Queens and South Bronx were battling.
You know they were doing that on Long Island, right? On them underground stations from Queens was in Long Island. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's when you had South Bronx, the
South Bronx, word.
And then you had the bridge, Queens Bridge, bridge.
Yo, you remember when KRS-One blew us up? Queens. You remember KRS-One hit? Remember when KRS-One blew us up when he was talking smack on the record and he was talking about Queens. He was like, Queens. KRS-One killed us on that for years, bro. Years, KRS killed us on that. He was getting low.
Speaking of Queens rappers, when I was working in Miami, LL Cool J was at the station.
Okay.
And, you know, Clear Channel in Miami at the time was a big old warehouse building. And we had like 8 stations in there. And I was walking up the stairway. Oh, I got 2 stories. I was walking towards the control room. And, you know, LL Cool J went to Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, and you remember the little chant they had at Andrew Jackson at the games? It was AJ. Yeah. So I walked in the studio, and I didn't even say what's up. I made sure that nobody was on the air. I just busted in the door. I said, AJ.
How do you react?
LL got so hyped when he heard that. He was like, yo! He stood up and looked at me. He was like, yo, what you know about that? And then he just started chanting with me. We both in the studio, hit me. So he was like, yo, for real, what you know about that? I said, man, I went to PS 147. My sister went to Andrew Jackson. He's like, oh, so you from around the way? I said, yeah, you were hated around the way too. Nobody could stand you back.
It's true. It's true though. Tell me not, Tony. Tell me not. Queens, they say things about Brooklyn. They say things about the Bronx. They say things about Uptown, Harlem. But Queens is like nowhere else in the world, bro. I mean, if you look at the most famous people that represent out of Queens, if you look at the way that people act, because most people out of Queens left Queens and went somewhere else.
Right.
Queens is a whole nother breed of people, bro.
It is. I can't really put my finger on it, and I know exactly what you're saying, you know, as far as the whole swagger about, you know, Queens.
We move different, bro.
Yeah.
We move different.
I mean, because you got, you know, South Bronx was always notorious. You always had those stick-up wars and you know what I'm saying?
Harlem was where you went to go wheeling and dealing, you know what I'm saying? Right. Brooklyn, you don't want to be over there past 8 p.m. type joint, you know what I'm saying?
You had like real slick gangsters in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
you know,
real
they were really slick. I mean, Jay-Z is a good example of what Brooklyn's about.
He comes from that mafioso mentality.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's Brooklyn all day.
But you know, Queens is where all of them folks went to go dump the bodies. So that tells you something. No matter what borough or area you were from, you came to Queens because we had the real estate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We had sections of Queens where you go into, you get lost and turned around and you never left the zip code.
Never left.
Cambria Heights is one of those. You know, Cambria Heights, Jamaica is right there neck and neck. As soon as you cross over into Cambria, it's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you take that up to Jackson Heights, you take that up to Astoria, you're dealing with a whole different type of mentality.
Right. And you know what? The truth is, and you know, I'm sorry to shift again, but you just reminded me of something, because I remember, like I told you, my first taste of hip-hop radio, mind you, when I was in New York, hip-hop wasn't even on the radio. it was all on the underground station in the streets. You were in the schoolyards, either breakdancing. I was that dude doing the centipede from one end of the schoolyard to the other.
Really?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At PS 147, where Run DMC used to play basketball.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I used to stay up late knowing I was supposed to be asleep. I'd be up to 11 o'clock listening to Rap This. That was an underground show on the underground radio station where they played all of the diss records from whomever. And then at that time it was Queens and South Bronx. But then it really
and there was a lot of Long Island. A lot of Long Island cats were battling each other. There was a lot of hatred out there from Queens and Long Island too. I hear what you're saying, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, it was like all of a sudden BLS started playing more hip hop. Kiss FM was playing hip hop. Hot 97 wasn't in existence at the time. So I was listening to the DJ Marley Malls. I was listening to Red Alert. Being that he was from the Bronx,
right?
These cats called him Duck Alert.
Duck Alert. Yo, my OGs used to talk about that. I was never there, but my OGs used to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cut Creator, who was LL Cool J's DJ. He actually spent some time out here in Houston too. Cut Creator did. I don't know if he's still here or not. But then you had and the radio personality that really hit home later in my career was Frankie Crocker. Frankie Crocker was just that smooth. He wasn't a DJ. He was a personality. And he had all of those ladies. All the ladies my mom's age just melting all over him.
His wordplay. I remember one thing about him, his wordplay.
Right. So he was that dude. And when I got into it, I used to study it. I used to listen to some of his things. I even looked them up on Wikipedia and all that, and that's what I would do. My homeboy, it's like a brother to me, Terry. He would always say that. He like, Tony, what city do you not know about their radio stations? I said, maybe somewhere in Yugoslavia. I said, maybe somewhere in Yugoslavia. He's like,
Word.
You know about Cali, LA radio. It's funny because I'm here in Houston now, and I know the story about radio out here. I met the cats as the OGs here.
I seen you with a lot of the cats out there, yeah.
Right.
Rob C. With who?
Rob G. He had Def Jam Blaster, who's my frat brother. DJ Aggravated. You got Steve Nice, who's up in Dallas right now.
Man, I saw you with Jay Prince too, bro.
Oh man, listen, man, I just called it chill when you said that.
I seen it.
I'm like, man, I'm just
listen, Tony. Them streets is always watching, bro. I'm gonna tell you. Them streets is always watching. Streets is always watching, bro.
Man, let me tell you a story on that. So, I gotta big up Julia Beverly. Julia Beverly put that together.
JV, that's the Ozone, man.
Yeah,
that's Orlando Hart, man.
Right. So, he had the book coming out, Respect, which is out in stores right now. And he did the book release party at Johnny Dang's jewelry store, TV Johnny. So for some reason I was going through my contact list, and I reached out to Julia, and I said, Julia, what's up? How you been? Where you at? We ain't talking years. And she would tell me she's still in Atlanta, and she's doing this, she's doing that. She's like, you in Houston? I said, yeah. She's like, yo, why don't you connect with Jay Prince and them, and TV Johnny for their
if anybody hit me up talking about connect with Jay Prince and them, I'm like, what?
and the truth is, it was like somebody calling me from DC saying, hey, why don't you give President Barack Obama
a call? Yeah, like, what? You got his number?
Yeah. So she called TV Johnny and told TV Johnny about me, and then gave me his number.
I heard he's a really good dude too. By the way, you met him? I heard he is one of the most genuine people on earth, bro.
Let me tell you something. He is, but I haven't met one of the artists here in Houston that we all know or know of outside of Houston that wasn't cool. Slim Thug, cool, man. Slim Thug is so genuine.
Slim Thug used to come to the O a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on my show. He don't even remember that. I don't even bring that up because I ain't trying to play myself, trying to remind him. But he was on my show when I was at Power. And then Bun B is, man, like you'll see Bun B out and about and he just roaming around like he's just not Bun B. Like I saw Bun B maybe about a month ago at the supermarket. He lives like maybe 15, 20 minutes away from me.
That's unbelievable.
You know, he walks in the supermarket like he's just nobody.
That's like living in Kendall in Miami.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or living in Long Island nowadays. All them rappers live in Long Island.
You know, and I when I was working in Miami, you know, I stayed in Pembroke Pines. So
I used to work out in Doral. I stayed out in Doral for like about a year when I was working with Dunk Riders, Cash Money and them boys.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it's all Kendall. That even all of them areas around Kendall is still Kendall.
There's some nice homes in Kendall.
Oh yeah.
There's some beautiful homes in Kendall.
I understand why they all move out there. I get it.
Right. But so listen, you know, with that, you know, got the opportunity to host it, and man, here's what made it even sweeter. The city of Houston gave him they gave him a proclamation, J. Prince Day, and I got the chance to announce that.
Are you serious?
I got a picture of him holding his certificate, and I'm in the mic like this, and I'm like, yo, this ain't real.
Brother, you living a charmed life, Tony. You are living a charmed life. If you didn't know this already, bro, I'll be the first to tell you. I am honored. I am honored to know you, man. You live in a charmed life for real.
But you know, and I appreciate that. But you know what, man? I just feel like there's so much more. There's
Absolutely.
so much more to do. You know, I mean, of course, you're not seeing me on BET, you know, or MTV or
not yet.
You know, but the truth is, you know, I've had some good times, man. I've had some very memorable times, and I thank God that I was able to be in a position, and the story is behind it. So anyone who listens to the podcast or catching the live right now, you know, they get to hear a story of someone who's been resilient and not gonna take no for an answer, not gonna give up. So if you get no somewhere, someone else is gonna give you that yeah. You just have to keep your hair in your nose. And
never take no for an answer.
Never
take no for an answer. And let me tell you something. I don't know what you're thinking, but I hope you're not thinking this is the only time you're gonna be on. You're gonna be a repeat guest. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you back on because you have a wealth of knowledge. Let me tell you something. I got things I wrote down on here. I ain't even get to half or a quarter of this. So I'm gonna need you on at least 3 or 4 more times.
I'm ready, man.
Keep it 100 with you, Tony. Listen, man, I need to talk about TCI Fitness. That is something that I cannot end the podcast without talking about. And we got a lot of things that we got to come back into. I want to talk about one more thing, too, that's going to touch home with the certain climate, the current times. But I need to tell me about TCI Fitness. Where can the people go? What can the people can expect? And let me know exactly why TCI Fitness needs to be something that everybody is following and everybody's getting with the program.
TCI Fitness, when I started out in fitness, I was training at Dynamic in Pine Hills. It's a boxing gym in JoJo. And I was training with some of the greatest boxers that you'll ever know. Matter of fact,
training with some of the greatest in music we'll ever know. You was training Nasty.
Yeah. Nasty.
So come on now. Like you acting like I don't know what's going on, Tony.
Oh yeah, but you know, Nasty and I, man, it's like Nasty and I still to this day have a really good relationship.
Yeah. Like
honestly, if there's one thing that bothers me about Orlando now, is the fact that after all these years and after spending so much time with so many people, there's a very select few that actually will pick up your phone and take your call. You know, and Nasty is one of those guys that if he can't get it, now mind you, there's not too many people as busy as Nasty in Orlando.
People don't understand how busy Nasty is. People don't understand. Like the type of things he's involved in, the circles he's in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If I hear Nasty's voicemail, there's no doubt that I'm not being. I don't feel like I'm being sent the voicemail. He just in the middle of something, maybe sleep, maybe work, maybe spending time with his kids. But he's not saying, "Oh, it's Tony C," whatever.
No.
Because how I know that? Because he don't go a day without following up. Yo, you called me yesterday. I was in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Nasty came out here because, Khaled was opening up for the On the Run tour. And Nasty was here. So Nasty was DJ when Khaled was hyping everybody. Me and Nasty partied that whole weekend of the On the Run tour.
People don't realize Nasty was on tour that entire time for On the Run.
Yeah. So
and people don't realize him and Lenny were behind the scenes on a lot of production from that.
Absolutely.
They think the people in Orlando are so close-minded. They'll think, all right, DJ Nasty is just DJ Nasty.
Nah,
they don't realize it's Lenny, it's brother, him, the Nasty beat makers. I was blessed to work with Nasty on a lot of things and promotions and stuff like that.
Right.
But they don't realize how many things he's into. You know what I'm saying? I was blown away. I was at the outlets over there on I-4 one time, and I seen Nasty and his family out there at the outlets, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you got the time to come to the outlets? I'm out here on vacation, mind you. You got the time to come out to the outlets. It blew my mind. I'm like, bro, every opportunity I get, I see you behind the scenes or something.
Yeah.
Always in the mix on something.
Let me tell you, Nasty, I've never told him this, but Nasty's work ethic is impeccable. Nasty's passion for what he does is like icing on the cake. When Nasty and Pro Style both auditioned on my show when we were at 102 Jams. At the time, we were in Lake Mary. The station was in Lake Mary. And they got their opportunity to come and audition to be mixers on a radio station. Pro Style, when I came in, when Pro Style came in, they came 2 separate days on my show. Pro Style came in, me and Pro Style hit it off really well. I just loved Pro Style's energy. Pro Style was fun.
He took it up to New York.
Yeah. Him and I joked around. We had a good time. You see what I'm saying? And then, all the time he spent in Orlando, I watched his growth, Nasty came in, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be straight up. Nasty pissed me off. Nasty got on my nerves that night, man. But here's why he got on my nerves. It wasn't because he was intentionally getting on my nerves. Nasty was just really particular about how things are supposed to run.
Was he coming from another radio station?
He worked at the Rollins radio station for some time. And, of course, him and Khaled was doing a lot of house parties. That's what, Khaled came up in Orlando.
That's what I'm saying. Khaled was still in Dr. Phillips. He had moved to Miami yet.
Yeah. He moved to Miami, and he was working with the Luke Show on WEDR.
Yeah. Because that time before that, Khaled and Nasty, they were tight. They were, I think, I don't remember where Nasty went, but Khaled was in Dr. Phillips that whole time when he was.
Both of them went to Dr. Phillips.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, they both went to Dr. Phillips together. But Nasty came in, and Nasty just pretty much single-handedly just ran everything from the turntables to whatever I was going to say. And I'm like, yo! But then again, I fell back, and I'm like, that's cool, though. And I picked up on that. I'm like, this dude is dotting his I's, crossing his T's. I can't be mad at this dude. And he's going to make sure that, his craft is respected. So instantly, I got out of, man, this dude is pissing me off, to, I can respect that. And from then on, Nasty's one of those guys that I looked at and I was like, every single detail of your presentation, of your talent, need to be polished. It needs to be polished. Don't write whatever off as, oh, they know me. They know my reputation for doing this. What Nasty is, the true meaning of you're only as good as your last effort.
I'm going to take a moment to say something real quick, because you being the determining factor on whether or not one of these individuals, let's keep it 100. Let's call a spade a spade. Whether whether or not one of these individuals get a job, for you to sit there and actually take a step back and be humble and say, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. This is not normal to me, but this is kind of cool. Like you just said, this is kind of cool. This really tells me that you are open-minded enough to realize that somebody who came in and said, I'm going to do things differently, or do things the way I want to do. You were like, nah, get out of here, bucko. You know what I'm saying? You were more like, wait a minute, you might have something there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly how it was. I was like, I can learn from this dude. Because mind you, I'm a lot younger than Nasty is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, at that time, I'm probably like, I'm either 20, 21 at that time. Nasty's already, Nasty already, the moment he put the needle on the record was like, had me like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So the simple fact that now the personality kind of intertwined, I'm like, well, I can understand why it's like that because he doesn't let anybody take him out of his element.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
But I ain't gonna knock the Groove Cuban. I ain't gonna front. He never had that vocal presence like you did. You know what I'm saying? Or like Khaled does. He was always a genius in his lane, but he never stepped out in the forefront. He's always been that, let me just chill back here. Let me just kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's what kind of made it more, it kind of made it annoying because he knew that. He knew that then. You know what I'm saying? Nasty would never want to do that because he knew that wasn't his lane at the time. Nasty had a little shyness about him. You see what I'm saying? He had a little shyness about him. So he would say, Tony, tell him this, tell him that, shout me out on this. I'm like, you do it.
You do it. You got a microphone right there in front of you. But let me tell you something. I can't knock that because at the end of the day, what he did was amazing.
Right.
What he did was amazing.
Right.
It set precedence in this little town we know as Orlando, Central Florida.
It sure did. It sure did. But he knew, Nasty did know that the only thing was missing was what he have now. Now Nasty will shine on you.
Oh yeah, because he's older and he's more confident in his skills because of what he's done and what he can claim.
But you can't be the opposite when you got Khaled, who is just oozing personality. And that's your homeboy. They like brothers, you know?
Yeah.
They like brothers. Khaled made sure when he came up, Nasty wasn't too far behind.
And I respect Khaled for that. I do.
Absolutely.
I respect Khaled for that.
You know, so, Nasty had no choice. I mean, he couldn't say that him and Khaled is as close as they are with him not opening up his personality the way he has.
Yeah, you look at the things they've done for one another. It's amazing. Listen, man, we're about to get off of it here, but real quick, you need to shout out your ass one more time, and I need the people to know what they can expect when they follow you at TCI Fitness, because that's a whole realm we never got to talk about. But Tony, I'm gonna make you commit right here. You coming back on the show?
I'm there. I'll be there.
Coming back on the show. I'm gonna have you return. We got so many things to talk about. I want to talk to you as life as a DJ during COVID-19 and life as a DJ after COVID-19, but we didn't get a chance tonight. We're gonna get it on the next one though, man. The next one's coming soon. Like, be ready in about a week or two, man. I'm calling. I'm pulling your card.
Listen, man, you already know. I'm there, man.
Brother, I appreciate you so much. I am so honored that you actually took the time out of your schedule, your busy schedule, to do this right now with me, man. I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I thank you for having me, man. The truth is, no matter what I've done, what I do, or opposite, it's up to the individual who has a platform to be willing to allow me to, tell the story. So I don't take it lightly,
I'd have had you on every week if I'd have known it was a possibility. I asked you on a whim, and when you were like open to the idea, I was so excited, man. But please tell everybody about TCI Fitness. We didn't get a chance to talk about that. What can people expect when they follow you there? What kind of programs do you offer? And what is going on? There's a lot of people home right now, and I want to make sure they know that, aside from listening to you in their leisure and kicking it with you while you do DJing for them, like you're going to be doing tonight, and like you're going to be doing in about, I'd say, Saturday with at DJ_DW.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aside from that, What can they expect when they check you at TCI Fitness?
Well, TCI Fitness is dear to my heart because I have a strong passion for health and wellness, and I have a strong passion for the masses to embrace that. The biggest misconception in health and wellness is, all these fad diets, keto diets, Atkins diets, all of that. Let me not go too far. The biggest misconception is there is a shortcut. And the truth is, yeah, there's shortcuts, but the shortcuts come with some consequences. So what TCI Fitness is, TCI Fitness teaches the whole body, holistic approach towards health and wellness.
Shout out to Dr. Sabi. I heard you. Holistic. Copy that. Hotep. Actually, to the ancestors. Do I say? Do I nature?
Because that's how your body is made. Now, people will become classified obese or suffer some type of non-contact injury. It didn't happen. The origin isn't that moment in most cases.
And it's not hereditary. It's not hereditary. It's what you put. It's the glucose. It's what you're putting into your body.
It's what you put in your body, on your body, and surround your body with. Now, there's some things that are inevitable. I mean, we go outside, we're breathing in pollutants all the time. I get that. However, your immune system needs to be fueled. It needs to be challenged. Because if you were, no one is at a complete homeostasis right now. That's not healthy. Just like, put it this way, a good analogy is, Jay, you finally get your Bentley. You see what I'm saying? You pull
G-Wagon for me, bro. G-Wagon.
You got your 2020 G-Wag, right?
Yes, sir.
You drive it home, and every moment you get, if you're not doing anything else, you go out in that garage, you just stare at it. Stare at it. Man, but you don't drive it. You just stare at it. And it's so, you fall so much in love with it that you're just afraid to pull out the garage or something like that.
Yeah.
So you go on like that for 5, 6, 7 years, and then finally you're like, man, I paid enough money for this. I'm gonna drive this thing.
Yeah.
You go in the G-Wag, start it up, that engine ain't starting. What happened?
You let it sit. It became latent.
You let it sit. So you didn't allow it to perform like it's supposed to perform.
You didn't exercise it the way you should be exercising your body.
Right. We were created. God created us to be active individuals.
In motion.
So if you're going against
on the move, shout out to On the Move Entertainment.
There it is.
On the move.
On the move. So if you're not doing what your body's supposed to do, we're not made to be sedentary. So if you're not doing that, that's when things are going to go the opposite direction with your health. Okay? So now let's use the same analogy with the type of fluids you put in your G-Wag. All right, you got a 2020 G-Wag. I better not see you driving up to 7-Eleven, putting some 87 octane up in that thing.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Or
right.
Putting whatever cheap oil you get from Walmart or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's equivalent to how we're eating. Nobody want to spend an extra $1 for, or actually, let's dumb it down a little bit. An extra 10 cents for an organic banana when they can get it for 48 cents a pound. Okay. Well, the reason why you want to spend that dime is because, depending on the integrity of the store, because, truth is, you can put a sticker on anything.
Yeah.
But they're going to get found out anyway.
Yeah.
However, I would rather roll the dice on that because an organic banana has no pesticides and is more nutrient dense than a commercially farmed banana. So if I'm eating this for nutrients, as we should be eating anyway, then
and staying away from dairy. Tell me not. And staying away from dairy.
Absolutely.
I've been doing that for years now.
Dairy creates inflammation in your body. You see what I'm saying? So, with all of that, I try to encourage folks that come to me, Tony, I just need to lose this stomach. All right, cool. I understand what the stomach means to you, but guess what? I got bigger goals for you. And I want you to understand it before I really put you in the midst of it and understand why I have those bigger goals. Because your belly fat may be because of your job. Your job is stressing. You're a single mom. Your kid, when you're working 8 hours a day on a job that you don't like, you go home and the kids are just...
There's so many other reasons. Beyond
Right.
what you need, beyond your activity lifestyle.
But you know what the problem is? Folks only allow themselves to gain the knowledge of my caloric intake is why I'm overweight. You see what I'm saying? So
Way bigger than that.
Right. So they're gonna do things just to burn calories, whereas they don't know that calories aren't the bad thing. Calories is another word for energy. We all need energy.
And that's why people get on this. They get on that roller coaster. And they'll realize it's an up and down. Once you start to change your lifestyle, because tell me not, Tony, what you're talking to me is about is a lifestyle change. Once you lifestyle change, that plateau comes and you flatten out and you stay at that level where you want to be at.
And you know, the plateau happens when you're not treating your body in a whole body effort. You see what I'm saying? You just targeting one thing. It's almost like for instance, oh man, I hate to get so long-winded. I know you got to wrap up.
No. I want to hear this. This is the stuff I want to get into. You got to understand.
So, like,
you and I are getting on this podcast again very soon. Don't worry about that. There's multiple things we're getting into, but yes.
No doubt. So, like pain, for instance, we don't like how it feels, but pain is a blessing. And I know I sound crazy saying that.
No, I'm listening. It makes sense to me.
Because the pain is like our check engine light.
Yeah.
That's something within the engine, within the vehicle, is going wrong. If that pain didn't give us any indication, whatever is going wrong will just continue to wreak havoc and we won't know what it is. So say, for instance, if it's a headache, it can be an indication of a number of things. Maybe high blood pressure, maybe high cholesterol, maybe muscle strain, maybe bad posture. It could be a number of things. What folks don't allow themselves to see is the importance of thorough diagnosis versus I just want to eliminate the headache, so give me some ibuprofen or some opiates or
shortcuts, like you just said it. It's shortcuts they're looking for.
Right.
Not realizing it's a big change you have to make in your lifestyle.
Absolutely. So with TCI Fitness, I do a lot of that in efforts to just get, it's a lot of it's so much education that's attached to not only you lifting things up or doing certain exercise or stretch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I want each and every one of my clients to be mindful. Now, mind you, within the 14 years I've been doing this, I've had clients that are like, man, forget all that. I want to do this. I'm like, all right, but I'm going to continue to try to convince you. Just know that until you decide that you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But if you don't want to do it anymore, that might not be a bad thing because you're going to base your failure on me. So, I can't be hard up for money.
No, because at the end of the day, you have pillars. You have a principle to stand by. TCI principle. And in the 7 to 10 minutes you've been telling me about it, what I've gathered is TCI Fitness is not a regimen. It's not a program. It's not a fast way. It's not a shortcut. What it is it's an introduction to a lifestyle change. It's an introduction to a lifestyle change. It's open. Yeah, exactly. It's open you up. It's lifestyle change 101. It's the, you know what? It's the prerequisite, actually. The prerequisite. It's the classes you take before the classes you need. Right. It's the importance of lifestyle change before lifestyle change. You see what I'm saying? I dig what you're saying. Listen, brother, this is not the last time you're going to be here on 1201 The Podcast. I hope you enjoyed your time here, man. I've been blessed to have you. Listen, we're going to have you back on very, very soon. We're going to work out the scheduling and all that. But one more time, I'm going to shout it out. It's at Tony C. It's Facebook. It's DJ Tony C. It's at TCI Fitness. Please let the people know where they should be following you at and what they should be looking for right now. You got the DJ event tonight, which unfortunately I'm going to be editing this while you're doing that. Damn, I'm not keeping you late for that. Oh, you got that coming up soon. That's coming up in like 20 minutes. It's all good. It's all good. But let the people know what's good, man, before we break out of here, bro. So right now, with the whole pandemic thing, most of my clients, and the pandemic was definitely, in this sense, a blessing because it opened me up to the idea of virtual training. So you saw my last episode? Take Your Skills Virtual?
Right.
Yeah,
right,
man. Yeah,
right.
man.
And it's highly effective too. Like it could have eliminated a lot of folks that just kept coming up with excuses. Oh, I can't make it today. Yes, you can. Pull up your iPad. Pull up your iPhone. Put me on.
You always got your phone next to you. You always got your phone next to you.
So
Don't give me that excuse.
Exactly. So right now I'm doing solely virtual training because none of the gyms are open. But honestly, I won't be mad about implementing this and doing more of this than I do face-to-face because a lot of people are going to gyms, and I'm not knocking gyms. I train clients at a great gym, Kinetics Fitness here in Houston. But folks are going in there and judging whether or not they're going to be successful by how many treadmills they have in here or how many ellipticals they have in there.
That's not how it works, man.
Nah, it's what you do. You know, matter of fact, the free weights are much better for you because it's more natural. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, once I own
when
the gym,
you own it. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna see a lot more functional equipment. I probably won't even have a treadmill in my gym. My clients barely see a treadmill unless they just warm it up. I'm saying, okay, go ahead, get your heart rate up a bit, and you know, we'll bang out. But I mean, with that, you'll see different approaches. And when it comes to nutrition, I'm really big on essential oils. Essential oils are just amazing, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people don't allow themselves to open their minds to it. I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, we all went through grandmother remedies. That's what essential oils are.
Honey and lemon when I'm sick. Guaranteed. Every time.
I got peppermint. I got lavender.
Ginger.
That's all it is. However, unfortunately, when you have one that gains popularity, you have others that come in like, oh, I can do that too, but I can do more of it. So when they try to do one of it, the quality isn't the same. Kind of like the comparison between the commercially farmed and organic banana.
Right.
So I touch on that as well. Supplementation. You know, I try to encourage more whole foods versus protein powders, but it's almost at this point how foods are being processed now. It's almost impossible to get the adequate amount of nutrition that we need on a regular. So supplements do serve a purpose. However, all supplements aren't treated equal. So what I try to encourage is, okay, well, you should have a supplement as close to the whole food as possible, and that's not it.
I did what you're saying.
Let me point you in this direction. You know, so that's what I do with TCI Fitness, and I also some clients. I have a client I trained early this morning. Some of our sessions are just me allowing her to pour out. You know,
because sometimes you need that mental fitness as much as you need that physical fitness.
To be honest with you, you are absolutely right, but you're not giving yourself enough credit all the time. All the time. I dig
what you're saying.
Yeah, all the time.
I dig what you're saying.
That mental can set you back. Like, really, people don't understand how powerful that mental is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That mental can set you back. So with her, you know, this time I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just sit there very attentive. And then when I asked her, I said, hey, you want my tape? And if she gives me any indication that she's kind of hesitant, then I'm like, we can talk about that later. Keep talking to me. Because it's not about me.
No, it's about her.
It's about her.
Letting her get it out, let her work through it.
She need to pour it out.
I understand. Because it's that mental fitness. That's mental fitness.
Whole body.
I understand. Tony, brother, listen, it has been eye-opening. It has been amazing to have you on today's show. I can't wait to have you on the next one. You ain't really got a choice. I already just kind of inducted you in it. You coming back. Listen, man, make sure you following us on 1201 the podcast. That's TWELVE_OH_1. Make sure you following my homie. It's Tony C. That's at ITSTONYC. On Facebook, it's DJ Tony C. And make sure you following at TCI Fitness. I'm So It Go J. That's So It Go J. All underscores in between. Hey, I got the Jamerican Don-Dada with me, man. I can't ask for nothing more, brother. Yo, Tony, I appreciate you. Say what?
I need one of those T-shirts.
Oh, you need one? All right, I got you. What you offline. We about to talk about that right now. Yo, man, we catch you in the next round, man. Yo, as always, I always got to close out with this. As always, we appreciate you, whether it's the first time you're checking us out or you're checking us out from the last time. You know, without you, there will be no us. So we appreciate you checking us out every time. And with everything that's going on right now, we didn't really talk anything about COVID, which honestly, Tony, I'm happy. I'm happy. This is the first episode, I think in 2 or 3 episodes, I ain't talked nothing about COVID, which is a blessing because it really shows us that we can and we are moving past this.
This too shall pass.
Absolutely. This too shall pass.
You know what? 2 things, and I hate to stretch out. I did tell you I had a surprise. I did tell you I had a surprise.
Yeah, you did.
And I have a podcast that's getting ready to be bubbling too.
What's going on? I need to shout it out. What's happening?
It's going to be, it's called Winning is the Only Option. The Winning is the Only Option podcast.
Because you got everything at Tony C. Wins. I know that. I noticed that.
Yeah. And second,
Can I be on? Can I be on? Oh, you got the, okay. The pioneer. You see, I was telling you, when we talking about radio legend, we talking about pioneers in this game. Orlando hip hop pioneer, brother.
I just, you know, and it's funny, when we got started, I stumbled a bit. I'm like, man, let me show this off to him, you know?
Listen, if you ain't know already, I am one of the biggest fans of you. If when we first met, I ain't make that clear, I'm making it clear tonight.
I tell you what, man, you've always been like A1 solid, man. And I love the energy. And you taught me a lot in the audio engineering and production game, man, that I still use to this day. Like some of the things that you showed me is why I got my room set up the way it is. You can't really tell, but
I saw you on the live. I saw it on the live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the angle is because of something I learned when you were teaching me.
The reflection, and how sound bounces off. Yeah.
Right.
I don't talk much about that life. That was a different life, but I don't talk much about that. But a lot of that's coming back soon, man. Listen, we got a lot more to catch up on, Tony.
Hey, we got another show.
We got a few more shows. Understand? We got a few more shows. Listen, no matter what's going on with the COVID-19 people, you know, there's no reason why we can't be kind to one another. You know what I'm saying? Be nice to one another. Be kind to one another. This too shall pass, as Tony says.
Right.
I believe in it. I buy into it. No matter what's going on, as crazy, as stressful, as hectic as it gets, remember, man, we all human. We're all struggling the same struggle. Just be kind to one another. Yo, we gonna catch you in the next go round, man. It's 12:01.
Yes, sir.
Houston, we have a program alarm, 1201. You was going to 1201, Roger, go 1201.